for some people, like Bitcoin's easier to understand as like digital gold.
Right.
And if you look at the market cap of gold, I think it's like $9 trillion. So if you look at the market cap of Bitcoin and it overtakes gold, you can sort of do the math. And we think it's like a 10x from here.
Got a Bitcoin alert. The crypto breaking above $60,000 for the first time since April. The move comes as the SEC appears close to approving the first ever Bitcoin futures ETF. Bitcoin getting a further boost in the last hour.
And miners don't have to worry much about new competition. That's because of the global chip shortage you mentioned. That's made it nearly impossible for those leaving China to get new mining equipment.
We love Ethereum as well. We're big hodlers in Ether and Bitcoin. And I guess for some people, like Bitcoin's easier to understand as like digital gold.
Right.
And if you look at the market cap of gold, I think it's like $9 trillion. So if you look at the market cap of Bitcoin and it overtakes gold, you can sort of do the math. And we think it's like a 10x from here at the minimum. And we actually wrote a piece last summer when Bitcoin was at 13,000 called The Case for $500,000 Bitcoin.
Right.
And so we're up 5x from last summer, but we still got 10x to go before Bitcoin overtakes gold. But I think Ethereum is this sort of creative design space, a decentralized operating system, and it's sort of unbounded. Like, how can you put a sort of a upper bound on the size of this space where you can just create and build all kinds of decentralized apps and things on top of it? So given that you're like a more creative person and you gravitate towards Ether, that makes actually a lot of sense to me. I think people who like have spent a lot of time, let's say on Wall Street or in financial markets, might gravitate first to Bitcoin because they're like, oh, this is a fixed hard asset. It makes a lot of sense to them.
Right, for sure. And like, I want people listening to this because when I started posting about crypto, I would just like make some memes and post about it and be like, oh my God, I'm glad I got it. And so many people, a lot of girls who follow me were messaging me like, what do you use to buy Bitcoin or what do you use for crypto? Like I'm on Robinhood or I'm on Coinbase. I'm like, no, you should just download Gemini. Like it's super clean, it's safe. Like I don't really fuck with Robinhood or any of that. I wouldn't ever go on there. And so I told them, I was like, just download Gemini. So I'm constantly telling people. And my advice, not that I really know much about anything, but my advice is like put some money in and then just like step back for 5 years, maybe 10 years. I think a lot of my friends in my generation and people listening to this, they've sort of gotten this warped idea of even the stock market as being like a get rich quick scheme, which was like never, at least not for us. The little guy was not meant to be. Like you should put money in and then hodl and just hold it and not watch it, you know, every single day. And I think some people do and they get caught up in like Bitcoin dropped or whatever. It's like, if there's one thing I've learned about crypto, even in the last like 9 months, it's always going to come back up. You know, like I'm not a financial advisor, but like anytime it's dropped,
this is not financial advice.
This is not financial advice. Yes, actually, I'm starting my own VC and whatever. But no, this is not financial advice. But just like step back and stop watching like the daily chart or even the weekly chart. This month has obviously been really good for everything, but no, I think sometimes people think, well, if I put some money into Bitcoin, it's not doubling, tripling, quadrupling overnight, and that wasn't really the point of it.
Yeah, no, I think like that's all what we sort of say is like buy and hold and maybe don't look at it month to month or year to year if you have trouble sort of watching the gyrations of the market, because it is a volatile market. But I think it's all about holding this sort of digital real estate or digital value. And nobody really makes money like day trading or trading in and out of things. It's just like too hard to time and nobody can predict the future.
Right.
I mean, there's a big sell-off in March during the early part of the pandemic. I think Bitcoin got down to like under $4,000, and I think a lot of people sold. And it's like, you know, here we are at $45,000. So you just have to sort of set it and forget it. That's really the only strategy to play these assets. Just like you would want to go if we were talking in the like the late 90s, you'd want to go long Google. Long Amazon and literally hold them for 25 years, not trade in and out.
The mistake was not buying them or selling them.
So like, okay, I was just looking up some stats on Gemini before this, right? So I went to the year chart. So let's start. All right. So I also looked up the Vanguard S&P 500. So this year, the past 12 months, VOO is up 31%. Okay, cute. Tesla's up 83%. Cute. Apple's up 28%. And then I was like, okay, well, let me look at Ether on Gemini's 1 year chart. Ether is up 646, Bitcoin is up
Right.
286%. In like a week, it could be 300 whatever percent. Maker coin, my favorite coin, I don't really have any reason, but I just like it and it's green, up 616%. I'm not a financial advisor, but for the people listening to this who I'm telling to go download Gemini and who are interested in Bitcoin, it's like a mistake not to at least put something in, because if it's 600%, even if we have like another bad year or whatever, you're probably gonna have another year of like 600% after that. So just put something in and like chill and be patient.
Right. And don't try and time the market. Like just,
Right.
and it's one of those things, I think people, they look at Bitcoin and are like, oh my gosh, it's at 45,000. I saw it at 10,000. Now it's too expensive or whatever. It's all just
Right.
this mental construct. But if you just sort of get in it a little bit and feel it and get comfortable, dip your like toe in the water, that's really the way to do it.
For sure. I just feel like if you look at the numbers, because I just like to look at data, right? Because I'm like, what do I know? Let me look at the data. So if Ether is literally up 646%, you're playing yourself by not getting in. You know, we don't know what's going to happen. Same with Bitcoin. If you guys think Bitcoin's going to be 500,000 a coin, 40,000, 45,000 really isn't that much. And so
It's super cheap.
Oh,
Yeah,
also,
no.
people don't realize you don't have to buy a
That's what I was about to say. Let's explain to the people who are going to listen to this. What I realized, and even when I posted on my story a few days ago, I was having you guys on, I got a lot of responses. A lot of people, they want to get involved in Bitcoin. They're like, how do I get involved? I don't know what this is. It seems like some weird esoteric thing that I'm not a part of. And it's the cool, like, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You could put $10 in and feel it out. And then you're going to get bitten by the bug and start, putting more money into it.
Right.
And explain to people you don't have to do a whole fucking Bitcoin.
You can download the Gemini app from the App Store or the Android store, and you should be able to onboard within like 90 seconds. And you can literally buy as small as $5 of Bitcoin or Ether and get started there. And if you invite your friends and they buy, I think up to $100, you get $10 of Bitcoin in your account for free. So we're trying to make it super accessible and easy and reduce that sort of like intimidation factor.
For sure. Because there's some people
anybody
who
can
think,
get
like,
in.
People are like, do I need to have like storage? Do I need to mine for this? And it's like, no, literally download the app and put some in, or go to Gemini.com. I sound like I'm doing your promo, which I am.
Yeah,
But,
you're doing a great job, by the way.
But I'm just like, download it and put a little bit in. You're playing yourself by not putting some in. And I understand there's, a generational gap as well. I was talking to a friend of mine who's 66, and she was saying, well, I don't know. What if it just disappears and goes away? Like, what if Satoshi Bukaki or whatever his name is just decides I'm taking it all and I'm not doing this anymore? And I think people have that genuine concern where they're like, I don't trust this. It's like some people, they don't want to put their information online anymore or at all. Explain how safe it is to invest in Gemini. You're a New York trust company. I'm still doing your PR.
Yeah,
but explain to
we're
people.
regulated. We're regulated like under New York banking law. So we're not going to take your money and disappear to Mexico or something and never be